Thanks to Akara for sponsoring this video. The iPhone 15 is going to be a huge upgrade, and it's going to change the iPhone forever. Wait a second, stop the intro, stop the music. I can already see you commenting, take your hands away from the keyboard. I know the iPhone 14 is still new, this phone has been out for less than a month, but we do have some really big iPhone 15 leaks that we've just gotta talk about. We're talking massive upgrades to the camera, a total redesign of the iPhone 15, and a brand new iPhone 15 model that we have never seen before. So as we always do here on the Apple Circle, let's break down the latest Apple leaks, news, and rumors that you need to know about, including everything you need to know about the iPhone 15 lineup. I'm talking about everything we know right now, all the latest leaks, all the latest rumors. I know this phone is still about a year or so away, but we've got so much exciting breaking news that we've gotta talk about it. We've gotta start right now. So let me be clear that just because we are talking about the iPhone 15 doesn't mean the iPhone 14 is a bad upgrade at all. The iPhone 14 Pro is a fantastic phone. I'm loving the dynamic island. The camera upgrades are a very welcomed addition. And if you need a new iPhone, by all means, go out and buy a 14 model. You're gonna be really happy with that phone. And this is not at all a deterrent to stop you from buying a perfectly good iPhone 14. But, big but, if you are curious about what is coming next from Apple, you wanna focus on the next generation of iPhone, maybe you've got an iPhone 12 or 13 you're holding off and you wanna know what could be coming with the next generation, then this is the video for you, because surprisingly, there's a lot we know and a lot we don't know about the iPhone 15, and it looks like in 2023, Apple is going to start to make some major changes to the entire iPhone lineup. First up, let's start with the design. One of the biggest letdowns about the iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Pro was that we didn't get any major redesign. And it looks like what didn't come with the 14 is coming with the iPhone 15, at least a few models. But don't take it from me, Mark Gurman over at Bloomberg, who has been reporting on Apple extensively for years and who's got a pretty good track record, does say that the iPhone should be receiving a major design overhaul next year, but what models are gonna get that design overhaul, and more importantly, what it's gonna look like, is still sort of a mystery, though we do have one idea that might finally become reality. Just about a year or so ago, one of the big rumors for the iPhone 14 series was that it was gonna feature a design very reminiscent, sort of a throwback to the iPhone 4 of 2010. We're talking a flush camera system on the back, a glass back, round volume buttons, just an overall very industrial looking phone that's a pretty big departure of what we have right now, but is also sort of a throwback to classic Apple design DNA. And there are some concepts floating around of this design that do look downright beautiful and do make a lot of sense, specifically for the iPhone 15 Pro models. We have heard more and more that Apple is going to differentiate the iPhone 15 series from the 15 Pro series, so I wouldn't be at all surprised if the major redesign just comes to the Pro phones instead of every phone in the lineup, but again, we just don't know right now. This does make sense as at least one option for what the iPhone 15 could look like next fall. Now, in terms of other form factors, like a folding or flipping iPhone, that's probably not going to be coming next year. We know that Apple is working on an iPhone Fold, which I know, according to your comments down below, a lot of you guys are very split on whether you like it or not. But good news, bad news, it looks like that might be coming in the future, but Apple's going to reserve that more as a special edition phone or a special design, while keeping the iPhone 15 a lot more traditional, that looks like a smartphone and not flipping or folding. So if you do want that phone, it's coming, but not in 2023. And speaking of special edition, we're hearing right now that Apple might introduce a brand new model of the iPhone 15 that we haven't seen before that would be called, drumroll please, the iPhone 15 Ultra. Yeah, I actually just made a video on this a few days ago and was mocked for at least even talking about the idea, but now, according to some rumors, might actually be happening. Told you so. All joking aside, what we know right now is that the iPhone 15 Ultra will be sort of a new phone, but also the same as what we have right now, because it's gonna be the new name for the Pro Max phone. That Apple is not going to differentiate just the regular 15 from the Pros, but they're gonna give exclusive features just to the biggest, most expensive iPhone 15 model. So you'd have the iPhone 15, you'd have the iPhone 15 Pro, and no Pro Max, but an iPhone 15 Ultra that would have its own exclusive features that you couldn't get on any other iPhone model. Now, what exactly could those exclusive features be? Well, we don't know a whole lot of info just yet, but we do know 3 things that could be a possibility. One is that Apple is supposed to move over to USB-C with the iPhone next year with the iPhone 15, though maybe just the Ultra gets the USB-C treatment as it's being the most exclusive phone, so maybe that gets USB-C. We also heard a rumor that we could see 2 front-facing cameras on the iPhone 15 Ultra, though not exactly sure why we'd need those 2 cameras, but that could be on that phone. And also, what does make a lot of sense is something special with the camera. Now, I'd imagine Apple keeps the 48 megapixel main sensor on all Pro models, but if we look at Apple's past, something they have done is give exclusive camera features, specifically like a new dedicated camera feature, just to the larger iPhones. And if we sort of line up a couple of rumors we have, there could totally be a scenario where the iPhone 15 Ultra is the only iPhone 15 model to get the new rumored periscope 10x optical zoom. So if you do want better optical zoom up to 10x on your iPhone, you might have to get the biggest, most expensive, because that might be the iPhone 15 that gets all the exclusive camera features that you cannot get on the smaller iPhone 15 Pro. And when you sort of think about this, it does sort of make sense if you look at the Apple Watch Ultra, because that is really sort of shown off as being the best Apple Watch in the lineup. It's got the biggest screen, it's got a bigger battery, it's got a really bright display, it's got special features. If you take all that and move it over to the iPhone, that would perfectly describe the iPhone 15 Ultra. It's got the biggest display, it's got a bigger battery, it's got a nice bright display, maybe it has some exclusive features, maybe even an action button. All those things reserved just for the highest end iPhone, and that does make sense. Okay, so putting that to the side, what about the rest of the iPhone 15 lineup? We know the Pros might have some special features, maybe they have a new design and stuff like that, but what about the regular 15 models? What are those gonna look like? Are they gonna get a redesign? And what's gonna happen with the second iPhone offering? Are we gonna get an iPhone 15 mini, an iPhone 15 Plus? What's the iPhone 15 lineup really gonna look like? Well, one popular rumor right now that does make a lot of sense is that Apple would expand the dynamic island to all iPhone 15 models in 2023, meaning you don't have to buy a Pro phone to take use of that extra space and that smaller cutout near the top of your iPhone display. What we heard specifically was that Apple was going to basically take the double hole punch system from the Pros on the 14 and take that to every single model with the iPhone 15 next year. And if that's true, I'd imagine the dynamic island sort of comes with it, because you can't really do the double hole punch on its own. It has to have the dynamic island component. And seeing as Apple is really leaning into the marketing aspect of the dynamic island and showing it off and having all these cool displays and promotions, totally makes sense that this is a big feature that comes to every single iPhone 15 next year. Now, in terms of design and camera upgrades and stuff like that, we really don't know what's gonna happen. Again, an iPhone redesign might be coming, but it might be coming just to the Pros. Hopefully it comes to all the iPhones, but we don't know. Also, another good question is ProMotion and the 48 megapixel camera. What about that stuff? In my opinion, just guessing here, and I'm assuming that's just gonna stay with the Pro models. And then in terms of the big question here, are we gonna see an iPhone 15 mini or an iPhone 15 Plus? We really don't know as of right now. Apple did keep the mini iPhone around for 2 generations, so it totally makes sense that we would see an iPhone 15 Plus. But judging by some early rumors and some early reports that maybe that phone isn't as popular as Apple initially planned, maybe Apple just drops the second iPhone 15 option entirely and just does iPhone 15, iPhone 15 Pro, and iPhone 15 Ultra. Not saying that's gonna happen, but just a thought. I know as many people would love to see an iPhone 15 mini, but I just don't see Apple ever offering that again, especially at the price point. It just was not a successful offering, so I could totally see a world with a Plus or just no second iPhone 15 model at all, as weird as that is to think about. Of course, we can expect other things, some new updated processors inside, and maybe Apple's own custom cell modem, some new colors, all that stuff. We're gonna learn a lot more about these phones the closer we actually get to their launch in the fall of 2023. So as always, I wanna know your thoughts. What would you love to see in the iPhone 15 line? Is there a specific color you'd like to see? Is there a feature you wanna see under display Touch ID? You wanna see Apple bring a back screen to the iPhone? You wanna see a new form factor size? Let me know your thoughts about the iPhone 15 down below. And the iPhone 15 Ultra, assuming it's gonna be the highest end phone, the most expensive iPhone, what exclusive feature does it have to make you wanna shell out the money and buy it and carry it around in your pocket as your new iPhone of choice? Let me know your thoughts to all the iPhone 15 leaks and rumors down below. Also, a huge thanks to Aqara for sponsoring this video. They make an incredible lineup of some really awesome smart home products that are compatible with the Amazon, Google, and best of all, Apple HomeKit ecosystems right out of the box. We actually just did a full video breaking down how to build the smart home of your dreams and not break the bank thanks to these really awesome, really powerful Aqara products. I'll leave a full link to that video down below so you can check out the entire process, how you can set it up for yourself, and a link down below to Aqara products so you can check them out and pick some up for yourself today. As always, I appreciate you guys watching the Apple Circle. Thank you so much. I'm Robert Rosenfeld, and I'll see you all in the next one.